Get everything out. So I don't even know how much memory I have, but we're going to keep going. So God bless you guys. I had I don't even know what to call this. I don't want to call it a dream. I feel like it was a vision because the way it felt and the way everything was. I don't even think I went to sleep. That's why I can't say it was a dream, but I ended up in this place. And while I was there, it was like a huge mansion or castle, and when I looked to my right side I saw it was a theater area. It was like a whole bunch of people were seated with, and the seats were immaculate. They were like solid gold with, like, again, the red velvet seats, like very regal. And I'm standing in a group of people, and these group I knew was like chosen believers, and it was like a boy. He had blonde hair, blue eyes. It was a Asian woman, long black dark hair. It was a kind of looked like an Indian boy, like an Indian man actually, and then it was an African American boy, and then it was me. And so we're all in this group, and I'm talking, and I'm like, oh my God, like, can you believe we're here? And they're like, no, I can't. And they were like, oh my God, like, what do you do, and what can you do? And we're talking about each other's spiritual gifts. Out of nowhere, we hear the almost like a metal shing shing sound, like metal rubbing against each other, and like we hear the stumping, and so we know that something is coming. So around the hallway, or like up this aisle, are these knights, and they're in different color armor. So there's one knight, he's in silver armor. Another knight, he's in gold armor. Another one's in rose gold or copper armor. There's another one in platinum armor, and there's another one that is in this like green, this pastel green armor. It's like from a metal that either we have not seen, but like that has not been discovered yet on the earth, or that's only found in heaven. And so they all stood in front of us in a line, and they walked up to us, and they hit their shields at the same time. And when they hit their shields, on their shield was a depiction of a war of angels fighting specific demons. And so I looked at my knight, and I think he had the tint of green on his, and he hit his shield, and it was a dragon on his. And I was like, ooh, that's not good. I was like, serpents are not good. But then it was like the dragon was flying on the shield, and then out of nowhere a lion came out and put its paw on the dragon and roared through the shield. And I was so enthralled in the shield. I was like, "Oh my God, what does that mean?" And then that's when I look over to my side, and I see that each person, they're watching their shield, and then they look up at their knight, and the knight tells them, nods their head, and then they walk off, and they go into this theater area. I'm standing there, and I'm like, okay, what goes on now? Like, I just watched a movie on your shield. Like, what happens? And so that's when he's looking at me, like he's looking down at me, because he's like 8 feet tall, and he's just looking down, and I'm looking up at his eyes, and his eyes are, I cannot explain to you how unique his eyes were. I just knew that he was a human, and I knew that his eyes were beautiful, and I knew that I don't know, it's just so much wisdom was in there. He was just like, he was looking at me, and I was looking up at him like, okay, what's going on? And we communicated through almost like telepathically, and he was like, are you ready? But he didn't speak it. Like, I knew that's what he was saying to me, you know? And so that's when I was like, yeah, I was like, wherever you want to go. And he just kind of like, go. And I was like, oh, fine, fine. And I start walking, and I go into the auditorium area, and I see my group. Everyone is seated. And so I go down the aisle, around, and back up a middle aisle to find a seat, because it was so packed. And everybody was waiting for this, like, look like a show was about to begin. So I go into an aisle, and I'm about to sit down. There's this big beast of a man, like, he's huge, and he's standing there, and he's in my way, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, can I get past you? And he's like, I'm not about to. And then he looks from me to behind me to my guard, who's right there, and he just out of nowhere, he sucks up his like gut, and he like moves the chairs. He's like, I'm so sorry, you can go ahead. And I could almost like see behind me, like through the back of my head, and I knew that my guard was pulling his sword, ready to fight immediately. And then that's when the guy started moving. But when I turned around, my guard looks totally fine. Like, he's like, go. And I'm like, okay. So I go and I sit down, and he kind of stands for a little while and looks around. And I don't think he really sits. That's the weird thing. Like in a dream, I felt like he sat down, but I don't think he sat down. And then that's when the lights dimmed, and I heard a voice say, "Let the show begin." And it was like something was about to happen. And then I kind of like woke up. I pray that you guys discern this video. I'm trying to get as much of them out. I'm sorry if I was rushing. And all right, God bless you guys. Love you.